Hey, I'm Eve, and I'm one of the USGs of General Assemblies.
Hello, my name is Maya. I'm the Undersecretary General of Conference and Events at YMUN.
My name is Vivian, and I'm the ASG of Delegations for Financial Aid.
My name is Lynn, and I am an Assistant Secretary General of Branding.
Hi everyone, my name is Luis. I'm the USG of EcoSoc.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm ASG of General Assemblies.
My name is Alex, and I'm the Undersecretary General of Specialized Committees.
My name is Selma, and I am the ASG of Technology for YMUN this year.
My name is Dominique. I'm the USG of Regional Bodies.
Hi, my name is Emily. I'm your USG of Branding.
My name is Amory, and I'm the Director General of Committees.
Hi everyone, my name is Emma Peterson, and I'm the USG of External Affairs.
Hi, I'm Gabby, USG of Outreach.
Hi, my name is Jad, and I'm the Director General of Operations for YMUN 48.
My name is Megan. I'm the ASG of External Affairs.
I'm Spencer, the Undersecretary General of Crisis.
Hello, my name is Ana Sofia Viejo, and I am one of the Assistant Secretary Generals for EcoSoc here at YMUN.
My name is Ivana. I am an Assistant Secretary General of the General Assembly.
Hi, my name is Bharati, and I'm the Undersecretary General of General Assemblies for YMUN.
My name is Catherine. I'm the ASG of Outreach.
I'm Josh, and I'm an Assistant Secretary General of Technology.
My name is Tyus. I am the USG of Conference.
My name is Ananya, and I'm the Assistant Secretary General of Specialized Committees for YMUN.
My name is Kelly, and I am the Undersecretary General of Technology.
My name is Olivia, and I am the Assistant Secretary General for EcoSoc.
My name is Steven. I'm one of the Assistant Secretaries General for Branding.
My name is Dean Senta, and I'm the Undersecretary General of Domestic Delegations.
I'm Ryan O'Donnell, and I'm Assistant Secretary General of Specialized Committees.
Hi guys, I'm Roa. I'm the USG of International Delegations.
Hi, my name is Maya, and I'm the Assistant Secretary General of Regional Bodies.
I'm Vinny, and I'm the Assistant Secretary General for International Delegations.
My name is Caitlin, and I'm one of the ASGs of Crisis.
Hello, my name is Eva Knezovich, and I'm the Assistant Secretary General for Conference.
I'm Brooks Mine. I'm the ASG of Domestic Delegations.
My name is Claire Culkins, and I will be serving as Director of Security for YMUN 48.
Hi, my name is Louisa, and I am the Assistant Secretary General for Crisis Committees.
I'm currently in Seattle.
Coming to you from Osaka, Japan.
I am originally from Chicago, but I'm currently in Columbus, Ohio.
I'm calling in from beautiful Pasadena, Southern California.
I'm currently based in St. Augustine, Florida.
I'm calling in from Chicago, Illinois.
Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
I'm Ashland, Massachusetts.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Zooming in from California right now.
I'm currently in New York City.
I am currently in Monterey, Mexico.
I'm currently in Boston, Massachusetts.
I'm currently in southern Spain.
I'm currently home in Sarasota, Florida. I'm currently in Bombay, India.
Currently in Dallas.
I'm filming from Lagos, Nigeria.
Highland Park, Illinois.
Chicago.
Wilmington, North Carolina.
New Haven, Connecticut. New York City.
I'm currently in Glen Ellen, Illinois.
Right now, I'm in Staten Island.
I'm currently recording this video from Tunisia.
I'm currently in Rouse's Point, New York.
I'm currently in El Paso, Texas.
I'm currently in Atlanta.
Currently in New York.
I'm currently in Massachusetts.
I'm currently in Seattle.
I'm currently in Milan.
Right now I'm at home in Wisconsin.
I'm currently in Colorado, and seeing the snow everywhere reminds me that it is YMUN season, and we are so excited to see you.
Welcome to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
I'm so excited to welcome you to YMUN 48.
Welcome to YMUN.
I am so excited to welcome you all to our conference.
I'm thrilled to have you at our conference.
I'm so excited to see everyone for YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
I'm so excited to meet all of you.
I'm really excited to welcome all of you to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN. Welcome to YMUN.
I'm very excited to have you all at the conference.
Looking forward to a great conference.
Wanted to wish you a warm welcome to YMUN.
I'm so thrilled and excited to have you all at our conference.
Welcome to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
I absolutely cannot wait to meet all of you.
I am really excited to welcome you to YMUN this year.
So excited to have you all at our conference.
Welcome to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN. I'm so excited to see all of you at YMUN this year.
I want to welcome you to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN.
Super excited to welcome you to the conference.
I'm so excited to welcome you to YMUN.
Welcome to YMUN. We're so happy to have you.
I can't wait to meet you all this weekend. Welcome to YMUN.
Couldn't be more excited to see you at the conference. Welcome to YMUN.
Hello everyone, my name is Monique. I'm this year's Secretary General for YMUN. I'm zooming into you from Greenwich, Connecticut, and I'm beyond excited to welcome you to the conference.
come on baby, just let me stay. Come on, just let me stay. Come on, baby, just let me stay.
Come on, baby, let me stay. Come on, yeah, baby, just stay together. Come on, baby, come on, yeah, baby, just stay together. Come on, let's stay together. Baby, just stay together. Come on, let's stay together. Let's stay together. Baby, just stay together. Let's stay together, good or bad, happy or sad. Ooh, let's stay together.
Wow, that was amazing. Thank you very much for that performance, Mixed Company at Yale. Fun fact, one of our secretariat members is one of the singers in the group. You'll learn more about experiences like hers and that of other secretariat members who participate in non-YMUN clubs on Yale Day, where you will also hear from amazing speakers and other Yale students on various international relations topics and other topics as well. But first, my name is Amory Proman, as in I am really excited to be here, and I'm the Director General of Committees for this year's Yale Model United Nations. Over the past year, I, along with this amazing team, have been working together to craft the committee experience for you, delegates. Here are some things to expect. Whether this is your first or 101st conference, we expect you to learn something new. Whether this is the broad strokes of parliamentary procedure or some of the more fine details, or the general idea of a given issue or some of the more complex nuances. Learning is a big part of what we hope and have planned for you to get out of the conference. Hopefully, you've already learned something new from reading your topic guides and writing your position papers. Throughout the conference, you will learn from your fellow delegates, your chairs, and all of the other events and activities we have planned. Most of what you learn will be about the world around yourself, but you might be surprised to find what you can learn about yourself. Each time I ask you to examine what you are learning to see where it fits within your other bodies of knowledge, what implications it may have, and what further knowledge you could or maybe should seek out as a result of it. Next, whether this is your first or 101st conference, we hope you challenge yourself. This could be in big ways or small ways. Maybe this is your first conference, and challenging yourself looks like raising your hand to make a motion. Or maybe this is your 10th conference, and challenging yourself looks like passing a resolution with a country that seems like an unlikely pairing at first glance. Challenging yourself could also look like giving a speech, staying open to changing your strategy as you go along, or asking a question to one of our Yale Day speakers. Try to think about what this might look for you now, and then go back to make sure to ask yourself at the end of the conference if you were able to achieve it. My hope is that as you do this, you extend the limits of what you imagine your own capabilities to be. If you haven't spoken before publicly, maybe you'll realize you can. If you haven't always reached across the aisle, maybe you'll also realize that that is something you are capable of doing. Then you can take these things into your life outside of YMUN, so that this becomes more than just a random weekend in January, but instead an opportunity to see what your potential is and then set about achieving it. Throughout the conference, make sure to use your chairs as the amazing resource they are. At appropriate times, don't be afraid to get to know them. They want to get to know you too. Ask about Yale, international relations, life as a college student, and so on and so forth. If they don't have an answer, they should probably know someone who will. They're here for you, and we all hope that you have an amazing and inspiring experience. Now, speaking about being amazing and inspiring, it is time to introduce our keynote speaker. Her name is Dr. Meera Viswanathan, and as a child, she emigrated to the United States from India before going on to earn a bachelor's in arts, a master's in arts, and a PhD from Stanford University as an adult. Currently, she serves as an associate professor emerita of East Asian Studies and Comparative Literature at Brown University, and is the head of school of the Ethel Walker School. She researches classical Japanese and Western medieval court literature, as well as comparative poetics. When King Abdullah II of Jordan asked her and her husband to found King's Academy, the first co-educational college preparatory boarding school with financial aid in the Middle East, she could not help but accept. As a result of her work, Jordan awarded her its highest honor, the King Hussein Medal. Today, she is YMUN 48's keynote speaker. So now, please give your full attention to Dr. Viswanathan.
Good day. My name is Meera Viswanathan, and it's my great honor to be invited to address this session of the Yale Model UN Conference. Welcome delegates, distinguished invitees, friends. At times I wondered over the last few weeks why it is I was invited to deliver this address to you. And in part, I think it was serendipity. That is, I'm somebody who is in the field of education. And with your motto, learn today, learn tomorrow, that might as well be the watchword of my life. But it's serendipity in another way as well. You see, I was born in India, not far from the island of Sri Lanka, which in the Middle Ages and in the Renaissance was called the island of Serendip. And so much of my life seems to be dictated by extraordinary circumstance, such as my emigration to the United States. And when I emigrated, I spoke no English, and so learned English by watching television for some 10 or 12 hours a day. I went on to attend school. I graduated from Stanford University. I went to teach in Japan for a year. I then came back and did my graduate work at Stanford in comparative literature, specializing in obscure things such as Old English, Old Norse, medieval Japanese, and then came to be an assistant professor and then a professor of comparative literature at Brown. I find myself now as the head of an all-girls school in Simsbury, Connecticut. And yet what's motivated me from the beginning is still the same. It's the question about education and its value in the world. And education, from its Latin etymological roots, goes back to the idea of to draw or to lead one out. And to me, education is that vehicle whereby we are led out from that place we were into the future. Education is the engine of transformation. It makes all things possible. And here I am, a Tamilian South Indian who ended up studying classical Japanese, who was taught in universities around the world, from Japan to Jordan, and at the same time finds education just as magical as she did at the very beginning. I want to tell you 3 stories today about remarkable educators who are all students. And I think that's really the import of my speech to you today, which is the Model UN program, which began going back, we can say, to 1927, modeling itself on the League of Nations movement. The Model UN is often seen as educational simulation, in which students imagine themselves to be part of the UN Assembly, representing countries, learning about different constituencies, and so forth. But here is the wonder of our life today, because you are not simulating. As students, you are also engines of change in your own right, thanks to a host of changes in the world, including technology. And so I want to share with you 3 stories about students who have impacted education in the world, even as they were students. The first is about a dear friend of mine, Shabana Basid Rasik. And Shabana is an Afghani woman, and when she was very young, she grew up under the rule of the Taliban. And at that point, girls were disallowed from attending school. And so her mother cut her hair short, dressed her in boys' clothes, and she would accompany her older sister to a nearby neighbor's house, ostensibly for tea, but really for covert education. Every day they would have to go and return at a different hour. Every day they would have to be watchful in case there were spies from the Taliban who were monitoring their movements. And this is how Shabana grew up and became educated in her early life. She went on to win a scholarship to attend an American public high school in Wisconsin, and from there won a scholarship to Middlebury College. It was while she was at Middlebury College at the end of her freshman year and beginning of sophomore year that she joined forces with an American friend, and she did something quite remarkable. She founded the first and only girls' boarding school in Afghanistan. The name of that school was SOLA, the School of Leadership Afghanistan, and also an acronym for the word SOLA, meaning peace. And this school emerged to educate girls not just of the wealthy elite, not just girls in Kabul, but girls from the various provinces, from different ethnicities, from different religious minorities, but who came together united by the belief that to educate a girl is to transform a nation. And Shabana did this for many years. As you've probably heard, that when American forces withdrew about 6 months ago, the Taliban moved in, and once again, girls' education is a question mark in Afghanistan. But I want you to know what Shabana did. She ensured that every student who chose to come and every faculty member and staff member and their families were able to be rescued and transported first to Qatar and then to Sola as a school in exile in Rwanda. And so the dream did not die, that she continued, and she continues to this day, to have Sola educating girls in Rwanda. And the beauty part is that a number of American boarding schools, including Ethel Walker, my school, but a host of others, we have all pitched in that effort to support these girls. And they are now in various schools studying in this country, pursuing their dream of education, pursuing Shabana's dream. I mention all of this because think of the age of being 19 or 20 and doing something so transformative with an impact for generations to come. My second story is about a young man who was Jordanian. His name was Ahmed Tarawneh. And I knew Ahmed because my husband and I built a school together in Jordan for His Majesty King Abdullah called King's Academy. And we realized early on in the planning that to realize the King's vision of a school that would not only educate elite members of society, but all members of society who were capable and had a sense of purpose and energy and commitment, that we would need to make sure that those students who didn't have access to English had the opportunity, even before they began at King's, to do so. Ahmed was one of those students from the provinces who was a brilliant student, but who had very limited English. And I watched him over several summers, and he was painfully shy, I remember. But eventually, his English improved, and he enrolled at King's Academy, and he was my student in English. And Ahmed, even in those first years, I remember I would have free writing exercises, and one of Ahmed's first free writing exercises was about his love of science and his desire to win a Nobel Prize in science. And I'm so astounded because he had never revealed the depths of his dreams, and also such lofty ones. And I knew he was wonderfully talented in science. I knew he was a brilliant student in Arabic, but he still struggled in English. And then I remember a year or two later, he came to me and said he wanted to give a presentation before the school about the festival of Ramadan and its importance in the Islamic calendar. And he said, but I'm really nervous. And so I'm writing my speech out again and again. And I remember the countless hours he would spend at our house reading his speech, halting, nervous. And I said, Ahmed, you know, I think you need to just relax and give your speech. And he said, no, I can't do that. And I remember the tension was profound until the day came for him to give the speech. And he walked up to the front of the auditorium, and there was no laptop with him. And his laptop was his eternal companion. And he gave the most brilliant disquisition on Ramadan, what it meant historically, what it meant in religious terms, and what it meant personally to him as a Muslim. And all of us in the audience were astounded. But we had already begun to take his measure, because I recall that the previous year, the king had come to visit the school, and he was trying to talk to the students about inspirational examples. And he said, I want you to know that in Jordan, there is a boy who at the age of 14 set up a network for all students in Jordan to be able to engage and share resources and talents. Whereupon the audience began to smile and giggle a little bit. And the king was very surprised and said, why are you laughing? And they said, because that boy is Ahmed Tarawneh, and he's sitting right in front of you. And so that's the remarkable nature of the people around us. The genius is not in the few rarefied beings out there. It is in all of you. You are the Shabanas. You are the Ahmeds. And I want to conclude with one final story. This is about a student at my school named Sarah from China. And Sarah is a dynamo. And from the time she set foot on campus, she was determined to take advantage of every opportunity. And that was academic, that was social, that was in terms of community partnership. There is no greater contributor and no greater cheerleader for education than Sarah. And I want to share with you just one example of what makes her so extraordinary. As you know, during this pandemic, students' lives have been disrupted. I'm sure all of yours have been as well. And particularly for students at boarding schools who are international, for many of them it meant that they spent a year learning remotely. And even when classes are offered synchronously, it often means that they have to get up in the middle of the night to take classes. Well, Sarah was indefatigable. She was present for everything. She was determined. But she wasn't just there to be a student. All of those earlier clubs and activities that she participated in, she continued. And so community partnerships for her, just because she wasn't in Connecticut, it didn't mean the end of that. And she started several community partnerships. One involved students in China with disabilities. And she started a wonderful art therapy program which allowed students in China in disparate places to connect, and for students to be able to work with one another, to support one another, in the recognition that in community partnership, everybody benefits. She also has participated in connecting students here with those students. So Sarah is a connector of the first order. Now, what do these three individuals have in common? They're all young as they're doing these wonderful things. They all have availed themselves of technology. And this is what I want to say to you. This is why you are not doing educational simulation. You have the opportunity to do something that generations of students before you never did. That is, you hold the power in your hands to effect real transformative change. And you have that ability both in your learning but in sharing the learning with others. And here is the beauty of learning. Learning is not a zero-sum game. It's not as though for somebody to learn, somebody has to unlearn or fail. The beauty of education is everybody is uplifted. And that's the magic, which is that we don't have to worry about economies of learning. We don't have to worry about hoarding limited resources and protecting our own so others don't have it. That in helping others to learn, our learning capacity increases as well. And so what I want to say to you is, this is the opportunity before you. Now we've learned that technology by itself is not a panacea. I think this is a hard lesson Silicon Valley is learning as well, which is you have a mighty weapon at your disposal. How you use it will determine everything. So those ethical considerations, those humanistic, the implications, the 6 steps forward are what you're going to have to think about. Technology by itself is neither good nor evil. It's what one does with it and what one makes possible. And to think through those implications is the challenge before you. And so what I would say is, all of you already, whether you know it or not, are teachers as well as students. And I will tell you, as a lifelong educator, I am still a student today. And I wanted to end with a poem from my professional past. It's a haiku by the great haiku poet Matsuo Basho. And it goes like this. Ware ni niru na futatsu ni wakeshimaru wa uri, which is, do not be like me, an identical split half of a melon. And that is what every real teacher wishes for a student. We do not want to clone you. We don't want you to be exactly like us. Our function is to make you be yourselves and to transcend your teachers in what you are able to accomplish. So, no split melon for you. Good luck, good cheer. Do not lose heart, because what is needed now for all of you is equilibrium and that sense of purpose. And the last thing I'll share with you is a family dictum that my great-grandfather once sent in a telegram to my grandfather who was ill in the hospital after running away from home. And he sent only 6 words, and in those days it was very expensive to send telegrams around the year 1910. These were the 6 words. Health first, education next, prospects last. That is what my grandfather, SMB Ishuran, once said to me, and I say it to you now. Health first, education next, prospects last. Those are the priorities, and may they guide you. Thank you so much. Good luck in all you're doing. Be well.
Dearest delegates, advisors, parents, staff, and the Secretariat of the 48th iteration of the Yale Model United Nations. My name is Jad Bitaha, and it is my privilege to serve as the Director General of Operations for this year's virtual conference. I'd like to start off by thanking Dr. Meera Viswanathan for her wonderful remarks. We are truly so honored to have you here to share your wisdom with us. I'd also like to thank everyone who has made this conference possible. From the advisors who have been working for months with our delegations team, to our chairs and vice chairs who have written over 50 topic guides, and to the most hardworking secretariat who have spent the past year carefully building this conference up piece by piece. I am so proud of everyone who has helped realize this dream and make it a reality. Last January, and immediately after YMUN 47, we began planning for this year's conference. The spring of 2021 was promising. Vaccines were becoming widely available, and it almost seemed as if COVID was going to become a thing of the past. Months go by, and several different variants begin to appear, further complicating our situation. In October, we made the difficult decision to move YMUN to a virtual format yet again, all while promising the same level of rigor and excellence that our participants have grown accustomed to. This year, we have worked harder than ever to ensure that that is the case. Our tech team has developed and built our own custom virtual platform, building on feedback from last year and adding features that enhance the committee experience for all our participants. Our Yale Day schedule includes distinguished professors, ambassadors, a governor, along with representatives from Yale Admissions Office, the UNHCR, and the Yale Review of International Studies. Too often, people question the legitimacy of the Model UN program in general. In addition to being an educational and leadership initiative, this year, we have partnered with the UNHCR and joined as a member of the annual UNHCR Refugee Challenge. This means that resolutions that emerge from committee debates will be put before a jury composed of UNHCR members, young refugee leaders, and independent experts. The best ideas will not only be promoted on UNHCR's social media channels, which are followed by millions of people, but they will also be shared with policymakers across the United Nations. To our delegates, you are not here to simply model the United Nations. You are here to be a model for the United Nations. Our leaders have disappointed us over and over again, and it is up to us to rise to the challenge. At YMUN, we strive to empower each and every one of you. We help equip you with the necessary public speaking skills and then broaden your worldview through a series of lectures, panels, and workshops offered during Yale Day. At YMUN, we learn today to lead tomorrow. As COVID-19 continues to be the most pressing issue facing our global community today, we have partnered with nonprofit organizations which aim to address that in several ways. It is my honor to introduce to you Ali Hoffman from Shot at Life, a grassroots advocacy campaign of the United Nations Foundation that champions global immunization. That will be followed by Katerina Passoni, the executive director of Havenly, a local food business in New Haven aiming to build the community power of refugee and immigrant women who have been hit hardest as a result of the pandemic. Thank you.
Hi there, and thanks for having me. My name is Ali Hoffman. I'm a campaign officer for the Shot at Life campaign, a campaign of the United Nations Foundation. The UN Foundation has more than a decade of experience as a key partner in leading global vaccine efforts, focusing on expanding access to vaccines where they're needed the most. Over the past 20 years, we've worked closely with the United Nations, as well as our partners on the Measles and Rubella Initiative, the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, and Gavi the Vaccine Alliance. The problem is that right now, 1.5 million children still die of vaccine-preventable diseases every single year. And one of the biggest stumbling blocks to the health of children under 5 is simply access. Due to social and geographical exclusion, insufficient resources, weak health systems, or in-country conflict, 1 in 5 children can't receive the vaccines that they need. The good news is that over the past several years, access to vaccines has grown significantly, in particular in the last decade. And we know that they're the most cost-effective way to save the lives of children around the world. So this is where Shot at Life comes in. We build on the legacy of the UN Foundation, as well as its work in global health, to rally the American public, members of US Congress, and civil society partners to expand access to vaccines. So we're encouraging Americans to learn about, advocate for, and donate to different immunization programs. So to achieve the goal of the campaign, Shot at Life employs both advocacy and fundraising. And while fundraising through Shot at Life is important, advocacy really is our top priority. The US government allocates around $580 million every single year towards global vaccination programs. And this is far, far more than we would ever be able to raise and grant to our partners on the ground, like UNICEF. So the biggest thing you can do is become a Shot at Life champion, learning how to advocate for these global immunization programs, working to advocate and build solid relationships with your members of Congress. And advocacy can take many different forms, from letters to the editor, to calling your elected officials, to signing petitions. But overall, our advocacy goal for the campaign is to educate and raise awareness among US policymakers about global vaccines to ensure that these critical programs and financing are supported and sustained going forward. Right now, Shot at Life is in our 10th year of advocacy, and we've made a really big impact. Over the 10 years that we've been around, we've had over 230,000 grassroots engagements with policymakers, which has resulted in over $5 billion in US federal funding for global childhood immunization programs. Also, we've had $26 million that have been contributed by partners and donors to the campaign over the years. This has resulted in an additional 108 million vaccines to protect children. So thanks to our collaboration with global health partners, we've had almost 23.2 million children's lives saved from measles and 18 million people who are walking now who would have otherwise been paralyzed by polio. Not only do vaccines provide a $44 economic return for every $1 invested, but since Shot at Life's inception, we've seen an estimated $225 million increase for global childhood immunization spending in the federal budget. While this has been done in tandem with our other partners, our advocates' advocacy has clearly made a difference. So what can you do? There's a couple ways you can take action right now. The first is by writing to Congress. We make it as easy as possible by going to shotatlife.org/petition. You simply enter your address and you will have a letter ready to go that you can personalize as you see fit. It is the easiest way to make sure that your members of Congress know that you support these programs. The second important thing you can do is fundraising. $25 can protect one child from measles, polio, rotavirus, and pneumonia. These are the 4 biggest killers of kids under 5. So to do that, it's simply shotatlife.org/donate. And the last step is by training to become a champion, learning all those different tools about how to advocate and how to use your voice to make a difference for children all over the world. So the way you do that, you can sign up for one of our upcoming trainings at shotatlife.org/training. It will be an hour-long webinar where you'll learn more about the campaign, as well as different ways that you can get involved and take part in advocacy throughout the upcoming year. Thank you again so much for having me, and thank you for all of the work that you do.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Katerina. We are the co-directors of Havenly, along with Camila, who also does Mission and Impact. I work on development, and Nida works on operations. Thank you so much for having us for this YMUN conference, and we're so excited to be telling you about our work and giving you the opportunity to learn about us and support us. And so we already told you a little bit in our introductory video about us, but we are located since opening 3 years ago. We opened the store at 25 Temple Street, and that's where we're located. And all our sales support a fellowship program, training program for refugee and immigrant women that basically gives them education, work experience, community, and really supports them in healing and finding their voice and place after all the displacement they've been through. To date, we've worked with 21 women and their families, and we are getting ready to welcome 15 women to our community. Nida is just going to tell you a little bit more about why we do what we do.
شوي إن شاء الله راح نحكي لكم على هيفنلي. هيفنلي كانت مشروع صغير إلى درجة، بس الحمد لله والشكر قدرنا نسيطر عليها ونكبرها شوي شوي بمساعدتنا للناس واللاجئين والمهاجرين في أمريكا.
I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Havenly. Havenly started as a very small project. It started small, and we were thinking about what can we do to help refugee and immigrant women in New Haven and in America.
نعم، فإحنا شخصنا هيفنلي للنساء فقط، لأن فرصة النساء في أمريكا في العمل قليلة إلى درجة.
And we focus specifically on women. It's a program for women, run by women, because opportunities for work in America are very few for refugee women specifically.
وخاصة احنا مثل لغتنا بسيطة، يعني على قدنا، الانجليزي مالتنا ضعيف، قلة بالكمبيوتر، قلة باللغة الانجليزية، قلة معلومات، فاحنا فتحنا هيفنلي على مود نساعد النساء في الحصول على العمل والحصول على اللغة الانجليزية والحصول على تعليم الكمبيوتر، وهاي شغلات طبعا متعلقة بهيفنلي، فاحنا فتحناها للنساء فقط على مود نساعدهم وندعمهم بهذا المشروع.
Because we have, Nida is saying, we refugee women have very little English. We don't know how to use a computer. We have very little access to generally information. And so we opened a program that gives people computer classes, English classes, access to additional information. And all these things are connected to your experience at Havenly. And we opened Havenly to help refugee women.
والله حلمنا احنا ان شاء الله تكبر هيفنلي بعد اكبر وناخذ عدد كبير من النساء. هسه احنا حاليا عندنا 15 مرأة بالدورة هاي مالتنا، والقبلها كانت 10 والقبلها كانت 6. فأنا أتمنى تكبر شوية شوية بعد أكثر على مود ناخذ عدد كثير من النساء وندعمهم في المعيشة في أمريكا، لأن المعيشة في أمريكا صعبة جدا. فنريد ندعم هواية من اللاجئات على مود نساعدهم بالإنكم مالتهم ويكون لهم يعني شلون احنا نقول شخصية قوية في أمريكا، ويكون عندهم دعم قوي وما يحسون هم غريبين عن هذا البلد.
نعم. So our dream is to make the Havenly program bigger and bigger. We currently support and train 15 women. The cohort before that was 10 women, 6 women, and we want to grow more and more so that we can support more and more refugee women, and grow our impact. And شو قلت بالنهاية؟
عم تكون يعني عندهم شخصيتهم قوية.
And we want to support them in earning an income, but also in developing a strong personality, self-confidence, and so that they don't feel like strangers in this country.
ويقدرون يعني يقاومون يعني هنا العيشة في أمريكا غالية يعني.
And that they feel like they can live their life and have power over their life here in America because life here is so expensive.
نعم، وهيفنلي مو بس يعني للعمل والإنجليزي والشغلات، هيفنلي بالدرجة الأولى هو مشروع للإنساني بالدرجة الأولى، لأن احنا مو بس ندعمهم بالعمل، ندعمهم بكل شغلات. يعني مثل تجينا شخص عندهم شغلات عنف منزلي نقدر نقول لها وين تروح تتجه. مثل عندها مشاكل ويا الأطفال نعرف شلون نتصرف ويا أطفالها. مثل ما تعرف الشغلات القانونية نوجهها الشغلات القانونية. فهيفنلي مشروع إنساني مو بس مشروع عملي.
And we don't just provide work at our cafe. Havenly is not just a work program. Havenly is a humanitarian program. We provide support with all kinds of different needs. For example, if women come with us with a domestic violence issue, we refer them to the right people. If they need help with their kids, we also know different organizations that we can support them with. And that's really the most important aspect of Havenly.
Nidai and I met when I started volunteering at the local resettlement agency. Every weekend, she would make a delicious meal for me at her home.
في العراق درست إدارة الأعمال، وكان لدي 3 محلات في العراق، وجئت إلى أمريكا ولم أحصل على العمل.
Nidai is not alone. 58% of refugee women in the United States are unemployed. This unemployment exacerbates social isolation, feelings of hopelessness, and financial distress.
وقبل 2 سنين بدأنا بفتح مقهى عربي لتدريب اللاجئات والمهاجرات في أمريكا.
Our flagship program is a 6-month-long fellowship that combines work experience with paid educational workshops in ESL, digital literacy, financial literacy, and more. Each fellow is paid at $15 an hour, allowing them to truly prioritize education over work. Fellows are paired with a one-on-one supporter that helps them develop a long-term professional plan, following them over years to help them launch their careers. After graduation, alums participate in advocacy and leadership trainings. Every week, Havenly Fellows, past and present, participate in community organizing meetings. With the backing of a strong community and steady income, Fellows have the support and sense of stability necessary to start making change in their communities.
الحلو في أمريكا هو بلد اللجوء من جميع الجنسيات، وإذا احتلت المرأة أو النساء من اللاجئات أو المهاجرات منصب قيادي سيكون إبداع للمرأة وقوة في المجتمع، وهيفنلي هو المقصود في هذا الكلام.
Thank you to everyone at both XLVIII and Havenly for the work that you do, and for working with us as our nonprofit partners for the 48th iteration of Yale Model United Nations. It has been an honor to work with you all these past few months, and it is our hope that we can continue to support the work that you do nationally and abroad. And hello! It is with much joy and excitement that I welcome you to the 48th and second ever virtual session of Yale Model United Nations. My name is Monique Nikolov, and it is my honor to serve as this year's Secretary General. Last year, although YMUN was the first ever virtual iteration of itself, it was a resounding success. We were able to bring together delegates from a multitude of countries and time zones, and students were still able to gain a great experience filled with new friends, great memories, and a deeper understanding of world issues. This year, while we were hoping to at least bring some students to Yale's campus, in October, the Secretariat again made the decision that YMUN would be virtual. We were one of the first Northeastern conferences to make this decision at the time. However, we believe this has been the best decision public health-wise, especially using our experience from virtual YMUN last year. We are confident that we can put together a conference that delegates and advisors will find worthwhile. We are beyond happy to be welcoming you to this year's YMUN 48. A few weeks ago, a student asked me, what is the point of Model UN if the resolutions that we write at the conference are not actually implemented? How can we make real change? My answer is that real change starts with you using YMUN as an opportunity to learn and grow alongside your fellow delegates, so that after the conference, you feel ready to use the skills that you've learned to bring new ideas and perspectives to your own community. Once you feel ready to use those skills, you'll be able to enact actual change. At YMUN, you all have the opportunity to learn how to challenge your assumptions about the international system, bring innovative solutions to the table, and collaborate effectively with your peers. You can build leadership skills today that you can use to enact change tomorrow. This year, our third year amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, it has been quite eventful. We've seen the development of the COVID-19 vaccines and their uneven distribution worldwide. The 2021 United Nations Climate Change Conference, otherwise known as COP26, met and declared that the world is on track to reach 2.6 degrees Celsius of global warming if nations don't change their climate promises. Hostility towards minority groups is on the rise, and overall, we are reminded that this world needs change. Use YMUN as a reminder of the responsibility that you and we all have as young leaders to use our voices to push change, push us towards a better tomorrow. While we're hoping that one day soon, we'll be able to again host YMUN on Yale's campus, we're hoping that as you all meet each other through Zoom breakout rooms, delegate social hours, workshops, and other events, you'll be able to still experience the core of YMUN, which is bringing people together. This year, we have around 1,800 delegates here at YMUN 48, zooming in and contributing to dynamic debate at our conference. On behalf of the entire Secretariat, we are beyond excited to welcome each and every one of you to our conference. It is the diversity of perspective, skill, and ideas that each delegate brings to committee sessions that add to the quality of debate that we see here at YMUN. This weekend, it is my greatest hope that you challenge yourselves in this virtual world to collaborate and grow as diplomats and leaders. So now, before we get started and I open the session, we'll hear a quick word from Claire Culkins, our Director of Security.
Hi, my name is Claire Calkins, and I have the honor this year of serving as Director of Security for YMUN 48. Last year, I had the honor of serving as Secretary General for YMUN 47, the first virtual iteration of the conference, and I couldn't be more excited to welcome you back to YMUN this year for YMUN 48 under Monique's leadership. As Director of Security, I want to take a moment to discuss the YMUN community guidelines for the next few days. Here at YMUN, we respect and value inclusivity, sportsmanship, honesty and integrity, and accountability. Following all of these community values will establish an environment that supports effective communication and problem solving. We want everyone to have a good time, while also feeling comfortable in participating freely to make the most of this experience. By now, I'm sure you all understand the intricacies of respectful conduct on virtual platforms. After 3 years of pandemic, it seems pretty obvious. But I'll take this time to review standard protocol and conduct procedures as well as some security measures we'll be taking on our end as a secretariat to ensure that everything goes well this year. Just as in previous years, we're going to have an anonymous reporting form that you can submit straight from our website. By attaching screenshots, you can submit requests for help and for support from the security team. I'll be reading through all submissions of the conduct form, and I'm more than happy to address anything you would like. And of course, these submissions are anonymous or not, it is up to your discretion. We'll be screening all of these submissions for content, and we have a zero tolerance policy for bullying and harassment at this conference. As we monitor those submissions, we'll act accordingly in order to make sure that a respectful environment is maintained and occurs at the conference this year. YMUN is above all a conference that ensures sportsmanship and safety, and our secretariat is here to make sure that occurs. Additionally, delegates, if you ever need assistance during the conference, please feel free to head to the main admin room where you'll find members of our secretariat and staff there to assist you. Advisors, please feel free to head to the admin room as well, but you also have access to the advisor lounge where more members of our staff will be there to aid and support you as well. So you have multiple locations there. If any of you require any tech support or Zoom assistance at any time, please visit the admin room or submit a tech request form to get additional help with that. We have many tech staff members here to support you as well. That's all from me. Let's all work together to make this a terrific conference experience. Our staff is here to support you. And with that, I'll toss it back to our Secretary General, Monique. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Claire, and thank you so much to the entire Secretariat for all the work that they've put in to bring YMUN 48 to life. I would also like to thank our nonprofit partners, Shot at Life and Havenly, for working alongside us for this entirety of the past few months. With all that said, it is finally time to open the conference. So, are there any points or motions on the floor at this time? Yes.
Motion to open YMUN 48.
A motion to open up the 48th session of Yale Model United Nations is in order, and it is my distinct honor as Secretary General to declare the 48th session of Yale Model United Nations officially open.